Nisayandra Vinaka, YouTube, Maikeli Vitu Ongo. By the way, that means good morning, YouTube. And Maikeli Vitu is Maikeli 7 in Fijian language. Ongo means here. So now you know how to say good morning, and you can say the number 7. See, I've just taught you stuff. You didn't even know. My videos are educational. It's Friday. And that means I'm in a better mood than usual. Today's the 21st of August, and it's the last day for new student registration at my school. So anybody who tries to come in as a new student on Monday, sorry, I can't help you. It's all over but the crying. Look, tobacco. You guys are tired of that, right? So today's topic is going to center on my feelings about the danger of riding and whether or not I would continue if I got in an accident. And it's hard to say because you don't know the kind of accident you could get in. But I can speak from experience, having had a pretty serious accident 10 years ago that still affects me to this day. I hemmed and hawed about riding again. It was mostly because of my wife at the time. She was anti-riding, anti-motorcycle. But if you go back and you watch my old videos after my accident, you can see relatively quickly I get out in that garage and I get on my Road King and took it off the kickstand. And that's with a very recently broken leg I did that, just to see. And I laughed maniacally into the camera. So I think pretty much from the earliest moment I knew I was going to ride again, even though I was trying to placate my wife. Somebody asked me in a comment today, saying, you know, why is it that you love riding so much? And would you continue riding if you had an accident? Because the person was afraid of having an accident, which is a natural fear. What is it I love about riding that will keep me doing it even if I have an accident, another accident? And how bad would it have to be for me to stop? When would I stop riding? How about that? I don't know about you all, but I love the whoosh of the lean. When you lean into a corner or a curve and you find that exact right place, you know. You throttle out of it. All that stuff. About the technicality of riding. As I take a nice leisurely pace through that corner, or those corners, I was only doing about 50, which is nothing. 50 into 35, not too bad. Not too dangerous. I have a truck ahead of me anyway, so. Alright, what else do I love about riding? I love balancing. I love the wind on me. Sure, I have a full face helmet, but I can still feel the wind on me. I love the open vista. I don't have a cage around me, although the helmet kind of makes it a little bit less enjoyable, but you know, I'd rather have a brain, so such as it is. The feeling of exploration, you know, you get to go on a motorcycle trip and you take these back roads you've never taken before, and that feeling of discovery. You feel more alive on a motorcycle. You feel more in the moment on a motorcycle. A simple trip to the store is enjoyable on a motorcycle. In a car, you know, you drone out, you listen to the radio, whatever. You know, it's a boring experience to be in a car to do that. But on a motorcycle, hell, it's fun. The scenery, the solitude of it, the power that you feel. You know, motorcycles, I don't care which kind you get. I mean, they can accelerate more quickly than a car in most cases. So that feeling of power that you have just at the twist of a throttle. The look of the bike, the sound of the bike, the feel. Even, you know, this quiet bike, I can still hear it, and it sounds awesome. The vibration of the road. The camaraderie that you have with other riders, because they get it just as much as you get it. No explanation is needed. I think also the ritual of it, you know, getting your gloves on, your jacket, turning the bike on, flicking it into gear. Back when I had a standard, you know, going through the gears, that was part of the ritual back then. That part I don't miss so much. It's a high just looking at the bike. And would I continue riding after an accident? Yeah, I would. I can't help it. It's in my blood. It's my nature. What would stop me is physical inability to ride. You know, paralyzed from the neck down, or blind. And I do worry about that, actually, because my eyesight seems to be getting really crappy. So I might even get macular degeneration in my 60s, according to my genetics. So I'm trying to enjoy this as much as I can. Or if I'm dead. I'll stop riding when I'm dead. If I can't hold the bike up anymore, that's when you get a trike. Or hopefully by the time I get to be that old, they'll have a self-balancing motorcycle. You can just kind of sit there at a red light with your feet up at a red light, totally stopped, and the bike will just sit there. That'll be cool. For when I'm, you know, decrepit. Normally I would take a left here, but not today. Oh, there was a cute doggy in the back of that truck. I mean, I broke my leg bad, and I limp, and I'm heavy now because, in part because of that. I can't really exercise like I used to, you know, running. And age, you know, that kind of thing. About 4 years ago, I got a DVT in my leg, so now I take a blood thinner, and that makes it harder to recover from any kind of injuries. I bruise more easily, you know, all that stuff. You know, typical you know, things that happen when you get a little bit older. Can't recover as quickly from stuff as you used to. But despite the fear of that or the concern or whatever, I don't really think about it. I do what I do. And if it kills me, so be it. At least I can go out doing what I love. Now, there are some things I would like to caution new bikers about. Things that you should notice. For example, if you notice that a lot of people are coming out on you, you know, entering the road to cut you off from the left, from the right, then that's a clue that you're going too quickly for traffic conditions. If the speed limit, let's say, is 35, right? Cars, the people who live there especially, they are going between 35 and 45. And they expect that everybody else is pretty much as well. So if you're going faster than that, they're going to see you at a distance and think that you're doing what everybody else is doing, but you're not. You're going faster. And they're going to pull out in front of you. When I first started riding, I noticed that a lot. People were pulling out in front of me, and I thought, this is not good. And I realized I was going too quickly for the conditions. As well, when you see a car on the side of the road that could possibly turn in front of you, take a left, take a right in front of you, what you really ought to do is, let me see if I can back this up just a wee bit. There we go. You ought to, you know, reduce your speed anyway. You don't go barrel-assing through intersections. You got to keep your eyes open, and you got to keep your head turning and scanning at all times. Left, right, front, back. I mean, you got to keep your eyes open. So be aware of that. That's one of those clues. If they're pulling out in front of you all the time, you're going too fast. And now it could also happen because you're going too slowly and you're leaving too much of a gap between you and the guy in front of you. So when they say drive defensively, I mean, that's a real truism. You have to drive or ride your motorcycle in a way that you're anticipating other people's errors. So that's one thing. Yeah, another thing I would caution new riders about, get out of this habit before it becomes one. Don't paddle your feet. In other words, don't duck walk your bike someplace, anywhere. If you're turning it around, whatever, try to learn how to do U-turns without putting your feet down, how to inch up on a stoplight, go really slowly with your feet up. Don't drag your feet, don't paddle your feet, keep your feet on the foot pegs or the floorboards or whatever you have. Of course, when you stop, you can put your feet down. A lot of people will say, keep your right foot up and your left foot you put down. So that way you can, I guess, gear, I don't know. Me, I get to the place where I need to stop, and I'm balancing, and I'm pretty much all the way stopped, and my feet come down at the same time. Because I've learned how to do that. But I don't drag my feet. The second I get going, the moment I turn on the gas or, let go of the brake, feet come up. Down, see? I don't know if you can see any of that, but that's how I do it. Up, turn. So, be careful of your feet. Another thing for new riders. Don't worry about dropping your bike. It's not a huge shame thing. It happens. If you're in a U-turn scenario or you're backing up or something goes wrong and you drop your bike, it happens. Don't. And if you're going to lift your bike up, make sure you do it correctly using your back and your legs. Don't do it front ways. Put your back to the bike, turn the handlebar in. And if somebody's around, ask them for help. Don't be ashamed. Ask them for help. People let that fear dominate them, and you shouldn't. And while I'm saying that, if you're backing up your motorcycle, don't do it with a passenger on it. Any kind of dicey situation that you're not used to, if you've got a passenger on there, take the passenger off there. Say, get off and I'll back it up and then you can get on. Or it's a really sandy thing, don't ride with a passenger on there unless you know what you're doing. And I guess one final thing for new riders is every day is a learning experience. Every moment you're on the bike is practice. Make it that. Challenge yourself. You don't have to ride beyond your ability, but you can ride pretty much up to the limit of your ability. Just make sure that all the safety conditions are there. The road surface is safe enough, your tires are good enough, the temperature of the tires is good enough. You don't want to be, taking too many risks in the middle of nowhere in case you go down, if you're by yourself especially. And what's funny is, there are things that I see as elementary that I would think that's just common sense, but really it isn't. A lot of people don't know these kinds of things, and there's a whole lot more that I haven't said. I mean, you could write a book about it, right? So maybe in the comments, those of you who are riders, either new or been doing it for 75,000 years, beat that. Put in your comment there other things that you would recommend for new riders or experienced riders. I think I'll do a little bit of practice. Yeah, okay, I got the cruise control on here. 28 miles an hour or so. I guess the main thing is, if you're going to get into motorcycle riding, fear is part of it. That's part of the thrill. And give it a try, and if it's not for you, don't worry about it. Take a course of, obviously take a course, motorcycle training course. All right, let's see. It's kind of wet, but I will do a little bit anyway. All right, in case you don't want to watch this is my Kaylee 7. Stay safe. I'll talk to you later. Trying a new approach, trying not to scrape. How about that? Just experimenting, Woohoo! I'm going much slower. Oh, I scraped. Oh well. All right, here we go. It's been a while since I practiced. I wonder if that would work. Let's try counterbalancing. Counter steer and counterbalance at the same time. That felt pretty good. You know, when you're doing it slowly, it's a whole lot easier. Less fun, but easier. All right. Just a little bit of, you know, having fun. I think I'll park in the new parking lot today. Yes, I think I will. Yes, I think I will. I'll do like an ADV and stand up the whole time, right, as I'm riding. I saw a piece of dirt, I must stand. Alright, here we go. I will park here. Yeah.